friends, welcome back to Home with the Hursts. I'm Megan. I'm going to be giving you guys a garden tour. We have 4 or 5 gardens now, I'm not really sure. This is probably my best garden that I have done so far, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. I'm also doing a flower garden this year for a farmer's market, and I want to show you guys that too, so let's get started. Above me, we actually have our grapevines, and I have done like an arched trellis. These grapes are getting some kind of fungal disease. They got it last year and we didn't get any grapes. So this year I've got to get out here and spray a copper fungicide. I probably should get in here and prune this just a little bit more to allow airflow to get through here. We get so much rain here in southeast Tennessee that it's kind of inevitable for, I think this is called cedar rust. It's like little spots of rust looking on the leaves. So I'm hoping that we get some kind of harvest this year. So I need to do the spray, and then I'm also going to put some Epsom salts around the bottoms. We'll see if that helps. Right in front of me, we have a peach tree. Last year we probably got 40 peaches off of it. This year there's at least 100 on there. So hopefully, we did not prune it last year, so hopefully our fruit gets to size. And then we also have a mulberry tree that is producing. It was here when we got here. We were so excited to find that, and it's really good. So I actually have the kids over there right now picking a huge bowl full, so maybe we can make us a mulberry pie. Right over here we have sweet peas, or we had sweet peas. They seem to have kind of been eaten up with weeds. I did not do a very good job at having weed barriers for them this year. I was able to get several clippings off of it, and they were very pretty and they smelled amazing. So you may have seen some shots. I'll put in a few shots of what they look like for my last video, but right now we've got very few sweet peas. This over here is our vegetable garden, and this is what we had tilled up in rows. And then we went through and put cardboard down. I put them all the way around the tomatoes and put wood chips on top of that. And we've put it in a lot of areas, not every single area in here. You will see that there are still some weeds, but the weeds are by far so much less than they were last year about this time. And it's just so much more manageable. So I'm really excited about that. Also, I've gotten my first large heads of broccoli, large heads of cabbage. This is my first year. I've tried 3 years in a row now to grow my own cabbage and broccoli from seed. I started these indoors with seeds, and they have performed really well this year. So thank you, Jesus, for sending the rain and the cool weather. And I think also putting them in this area versus a different area, which they've been in the last 2 years, has helped a lot. They get more sun over here, so they have flowered or produced their vegetables better. The little trees down through here are tomatoes, and I am staking them or trellising them better this year. Last year I used yarn, and the yarn just was not holding them up very well. Also, my garden went this way last year instead of this way, and so my posts were kind of going downhill instead of like a straight line. So this year we've got the garden going horizontal instead of vertical, and I've used baling twine to tie to my T-posts. It's pretty stout now, and I'm also pruning my tomatoes pretty hard this year, just leaving on the fruit. So we're just gonna see this little experiment if it does better for me. We've probably got 25, 30 tomato plants in here, and I plan on canning a lot and using fresh tomatoes for food and recipes. I'm really excited about all the tomatoes I've got coming. What do we have here? I have Brandywine tomatoes. I have a paste tomato. They're like a Roma tomato. Manzano, I think is what they were called. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that I started 2 tomato plants that are like the grape tomatoes or the cherry type tomatoes so that we can eat them fresh. To my left here, I've planted sweet potato vines. These are the sweet potato vines that I purchased from our farmer's market that's just right down the street. I just didn't have time this year to start my own sweet potatoes, but these are the O. Henry sweet potatoes. So they have a white flesh. They're so good. They're like that light brown, almost light orange on the outside and white on the inside. They're very sweet. They go great just sauteed in some avocado oil and put into the oven to bake. Put a little salt on it and it's so good. You have to try it. Here we have pepper plants. I tried to start my own pepper plants from seed this year, and I don't think that I put them inside long enough and on heat mats for them to grow and get tall enough. So they all died. So I just went to the farmer's market and bought like 6 different kinds. So that's kind of cool because now I have more varieties than I did when I was starting the seeds. I just had jalapenos and orange bell peppers. So now I have green bell peppers, red bell peppers, orange bell peppers. I got some cayenne peppers and some jalapenos, which I plan on pickling the jalapenos. The bell peppers we love just to cook with. I might try some stuffed bell peppers this year and doing some bell peppers on our pizza, my sourdough pizza, which is so good. My husband got me this big cast iron skillet now. Maybe I'll show you guys later in this video. And we make these huge sourdough pizzas now and just load it down with all of the vegetables that we can. It's so delicious. So all of these vegetables that we are growing here in the garden will be on our pizza one day. Now we've also got some more tomatoes down this row, and at the end we have some Black Beauty zucchini. Now on this zucchini I planted like, I don't know, 4 seeds I think, 2 here. So we have 2 plants going here, and no, I did not, ooh, there's a wasp. I did not thin them out. I just let them grow. We also have another one coming up here. I just planted this one, I don't know, a week ago maybe, less than 2 weeks ago for sure, and it sprouted up. So we'll get some different harvest times with that, thankfully. That'll be cool. And I'm also trying out some more pruning with this. I just watched another guy's garden tour and he cut back most of these stalks and had some nice harvest. So you guys let me know, do you prune your zucchini or do you let them just go? I have never before pruned them, so we're gonna give this a go this year and just see. Now right here next to my tomatoes, I've got these sour gherkin cucumbers coming up. They were little tiny seeds. So once they get, and there's a bunch that didn't come up. We've got some that came up. I think they were maybe supposed to be 12 inches apart. So maybe these are just where I planted them. I can't remember exactly. But once they get tall enough and they need trellising, I've got my T-posts staked here and here, and we will just tie them up with some twine and stuff. As you can see, these weeds I didn't get any cardboard through here. And then close to my broccoli and cabbage, I planted a bunch of carrots. And so it's been really hard to keep that weeded. I may try, once I pull out the broccoli and cabbage, I may try to do some succession planting with more carrots. We'll see. Alright, so over here we have pumpkins, and I don't remember which variety of pumpkins I planted. I literally just went through my seed packets, and whatever I had, I would just do a little bit of everything. So we've got some pumpkins, and they were growing down that way, and I don't want them to grow that way. So what I did was I pulled the vines up here, and I put some stakes in. somewhere. Oh, here's one. So that it'll grow this way, hopefully. But just, here's another one. Just trying to get them to grow up instead of down the hill. Then we have our ornamental popcorn here. Has some really pretty seeds. Oh, look, I got the ducks a pool, and Brian put together like a little platform diving board for them. So it's really exciting. We really need to get in there and level it out, but they were in dire need of a pool. They're so happy in that thing. All right, so here we have a couple more peppers. These are just green bell peppers. And this looks like, I don't know what it is, you guys. Could be loofah. I had a bunch of volunteer loofah sprouts come up, so I don't know if I'll let it keep going or not. For now I will. We'll see. All right, and then over here amongst these weeds we have some watermelons. So planted two. We'll just go ahead and pull these weeds up. Throw these to the chickens and ducks. Here in these gorgeous rustic raised garden beds, my husband and I put together these beautiful beds made from leftover lumber that we had milled here on our property. So this was just like the ends that most people don't use. So he helped me cut them. We put them up. I don't know how well they've been put together. This year they will work, and we will just patch them up as we go. But we have started our flowers. Now we do have one bed that is full of vegetables because kind of ran out of flowers to put in it and ran out of room in the vegetable garden. So I went ahead and planted it. So I'm going to start with that one, show you that one, and then we'll get on to the flowers. Right here we have some cucumbers, and for some reason none of my cucumber, just like pickling cucumbers, seeds sprouted when I put them in the ground. So I just went ahead and got 3 plants from our local farmers market and planted them here. And we've just got them trellising up some belling twine as well. And I have 2 rows here of bush beans. Some of them have started to sprout. Like here's one, here's another one. So I'm just waiting on the rest of them to sprout. I'm not seeing any. Oh, here's another one poking through. So, and then this end over here is just full of weeds. Here we have sunflowers. So these are white knight and black knight, I think. One of them has like a solid white center. I think that's these right here with white petals, and they're sunflowers. And then this one has like a black center with white petals. Gorgeous, but they're only single stem flowers, so I'm hoping that you guys are crooked. I'm hoping that I'm able to sell them really well in the farmer's market, because it's not like once I cut them that they'll come back. So hopefully these will go well. And I have succession planted 1 row over here, and I don't see anything coming up quite yet. So we did just get a really good rain yesterday. So hopefully that watered them in well and they'll start sprouting soon. Aisle here, in this first bed we have powder puff asters, and this is just a variety that my husband got me, so I was really excited to try them out. And then in the next bed back there is zinnias, and I just have different colored zinnias all throughout the garden. And then there's a random sunflower back there, so I don't know if I accidentally dropped that seed or a bird did, but it's growing, and we're just gonna leave it right there. Now this bed seems to be doing the best so far. as far as producing flowers, the earliest, I guess. So we have calendula, and then we have chamois asters, tower chamois, I think is what they're called. But they're absolutely gorgeous. They're like a soft pink color right now. And then the calendula, of course, are a bright orange and yellow. So calendula can be used for medicinal purposes as well as beautiful flowers. So I'm really proud of these. They're so pretty. In this bed right here we have celosia. Pampas Plume Celosia is the brand. They're very tall and they have like these puffy, stringy, feathery like blooms on them. And then we also have dahlias back behind them. We've got buds on the dahlias, but we have no blooms yet. So I was supposed to start the farmer's market this week, but I just don't think I'm gonna have enough flowers to sell. So maybe next week, maybe the week after, I don't know exactly. Now this one is our last bed of flowers. We have Queenie Lime zinnias in here, Queenie Lime Red, Queenie Lime Blotch, and then I think we have Isabellina, which is a pretty like creamy white color. We have Purple Prince in one of our zinnia beds, which is a lavender, a little bit brighter than a lavender. We have a bold red. We have red, white, and blooms. We have an Oriole color, which is a bright orange, and I think we have like a peachy pink color too. So those are always a big hit just because they're so bright and it just really reminds you of summer. So I cannot wait to see them start blooming, and they've got lots of buds of them now. So I really think that having all of these flowers next to the garden is going to be beneficial to my garden as well, because it's bringing in all kinds of pollinators, which is pretty awesome. It means we're gonna have larger harvests, hopefully. All right, so now I'm going to take you up to my butterfly and bee garden really quickly. This is still a work in progress. We just started it. We started like clearing trees and stuff back in the fall last year, and there's still a whole lot of mud, and I just spread grass seed. So yeah, we've got a lot planted. I've got a lot done. There's still so much more to go. Stop here. This is what we had for herbs last year and our red raspberries, and I forgot to show you guys that. Look at these. Look at these. They're just decimating everything already. Okay, so we have red raspberries here. I think this is common valerian. Not 100% sure. More raspberries. This is pokeweed, I think. I need to get that out of there. More raspberries. Looks like we are starting to get some raspberries fruiting, so we got to get those out of there. We got some weeds, and we have these gorgeous calla lilies. So I transplanted these from my grandmother's garden, and they have spread, these pink ones. And then last year I got these yellow ones, planted them, and they have come up and they're so pretty. So there's those. And then these are a bunch of irises that I don't know if I got footage of them in bloom or not. They're absolutely beautiful. We probably had maybe 5 that we transplanted out of our woods. We only get like 1 bloom, and this year we probably had 20 or 30 blooms. It was so pretty. Right here we have a goji berry bush, and I don't like goji berries, so I don't know if it needs to stay there or not. Nobody else eats them either. They're not really that good. Alright, this is what we've done so far. We still have a lot of cleanup to do. Got buckets up there. See, as mud has washed out here into our driveway, it looks awful. But this, maybe I'll have some like before and after footage for you guys. So this is going to be our butterfly and bee garden. Here I've got planted all kinds of lavender. Not all kinds, one kind. It's Munstead. It's an English lavender, so it handles the humidity and the rain that we get here in East Tennessee. It's a perennial. I did put ground cover, but the mud has washed down through here, so that's fun. And through here, I've just planted a bunch of zinnias and wildflowers. I think that's either cosmos or yarrow, something like that. Maybe bee balm. Some of these are just weeds that I need to pull out too. But I'm excited just to like let it all grow up and see what pops up. We built this little walkway here. I've got mulch down this side. Got some zinnias here coming up. I have mulch halfway down this side here. Still need to finish mulching on this side. I also have some zinnias planted over here. And then we have some dahlias. Pretty sure those are dahlias. We got those from a little farm stand. They weren't marked, so let's see, go over here. We have, I think that, I don't know if I planted this or not. I can't tell. Yeah, so the weeds are really bad over here. We have some peonies here. Like here's one, and there's 5 of them. There's one here. Planted some more calla lilies here. This is leftover pampas plume celosia, the golden kind. So I just planted them up here. And then here's another peony. So these will be perennials. They'll come back every year. This peony bloomed this year. You can see right there. I wonder if you can save these seeds and plant them from seed. I need to look into that. All right, over here we have some yarrow, and it's leaning over because my neighbor found this in her yard, and we dug this up out of her yard and transplanted it here. So I'm trying to keep it nice and wet, watered. Now I did buy these. This is pink and whites and yellow and light pinks. So we just have a bunch of transplanted yarrow here. Then everywhere you see hay, I've planted grass seed. So hopefully that'll start popping up soon. Keep this mud from washing down through there. Oh, I can't remember what this is called. I think maybe a Bells of Ireland or Delphinium. I can't remember exactly, but my son actually picked it out and wanted to plant it. It's so pretty. Okay, and then right here we have some more lavender coming up. This is phlox, and I don't remember what that one was. But all of this got at Walmart, and I kind of just tried to make a little bed with some mulch around it. Now I did make a row of zinnias all the way down through here. And so hopefully when those grow up, we'll just have like a hedge of zinnias, and it'll just be absolutely beautiful. So I will have to update you guys come summer. There's a zinnia. Got lots of them coming up. Over here, have some more yarrow and some more weeds. This was a large project that I just wasn't prepared for. It's getting really hot, you guys. I'm gonna have to hurry this up. We have the start of a walkway here with some cardboard. Here we have, what did I plant here? Cosmos. And then I planted a bunch of seeds up here. Hopefully they sprout. I just planted those a couple days ago, so it's kind of like leftover seeds, and you're just not really sure if they're going to work or not, so you just throw them out and pray for the best. I have a bunch of bulbs coming in right along this pathway that my grandmother got me. I don't know what they are, so that'll be exciting to see. Here my daughter planted some leftover celosia and some lilies. Not really sure what kind of lilies they are. Over here we have a rose planted. I got this one from Aldi's, and we actually have 3 of them. So, oh, that wind feels good. Here's another one. This one doesn't get quite as much sun as the other one, so it's a little bit behind on growing, but hopefully it will bloom. Some more bulbs here. This was something that I got from Gurney's, and it has died, and I really need to look it up. I can't remember which one it was, but they will either give you your money back or get you a new plant. Yeah, just a minute. Right here we have some sweet peas, some bulbs. This is where a bunch of my tulips came up, and then I planted some annuals in there as well. I've spread grass seed out through here. We have a cherry bush, 3 cherry bushes back through here. I'll show you guys that. There's some. They should be fruiting this year too. We have an herb garden over here. Got some wormwood, rosemary. This is vitex or chasteberry. This is basil. This is Thai basil. This is lemon basil. This one is bee balm. So that's good for the bees. Cilantro going to seed. More basil. This one is feverfew. Here, more vitex. Apparently this gets really big, so I may end up having to transplant it. Some sage, basil. This one is anise hyssop. There's some arnica over there, and that's it for here. So we have another walkway from our house, which I need to update you with the house too. It's got some lavender here. This is some sedum, dragon's blood sedum. We have a walkway here with some beautiful sweet peas. We have our blueberry bushes, which I thought got more sun over here than they do, so I may end up having to transplant them again, unfortunately. So we got some strawberries interplanted in there. Hardly gotten any strawberries off of it this year, so all of that maybe need to be transplanted. We'll see. Over here with more of our butterfly bee garden, we've got our sweet peas here, hydrangea, a butterfly bush which has a butterfly on it right now. That's cool. We have another butterfly bush right here, which I need to get this big weed out of the way. Look at that. Well, I scared it off. We have some red clover over here. Some lemon balm. I don't remember what this is called, but it was so pretty. We have some stone crop. So this has like a waxy feel to the leaves. And I think that these are just annuals that the kids picked out. I let them pick stuff out and then they don't help me plant it. Okay. And then over here we have some chamomile plants. Lots of them. In these pots, we just have some annuals, which are doing really well. They're so pretty. This, I've never seen a sweet pea that's red, but this one is red. And then these are like a purpley color. This doesn't really go together, but then we have some more sedum here and here along our patio. There's some creeping phlox there. And then there is another one of our roses. And in here, what do I have in here? I forget. Hyssop. Hopefully this will grow. Yeah, you can see where some of these have died. Not doing so good, so hopefully these will grow out good. Hopefully you guys can hear me well over the air conditioner running in the background. But I was going to show you this one last little landscape garden that I have over here. It's really filled out this year. Probably about a month ago, it was like at its prime in beauty. Like it didn't need to be pruned or anything like that. Everything was kind of in bloom or starting to bloom. It was so pretty. But now it's kind of overgrown. So I need to get back in there, prune the lemon balm. That stuff you have to prune it like 4 or 5 times a year. So in this bed here, we've got it lined with, oh, look at this slug. So cool, the stuff that you see when you're out in gardening or in nature. Okay, so we have it lined with brick. We have some mullein here, very soft. Those are daffodils. Those are daffodils. Hosta here, which was really little last year, and it's like doubled in size or tripled. We have some annuals planted in there. This is all lemon balm. There's actually just 2 plants in there, but if I don't get in there and prune it, there's going to be 15. It like sows like mint. Okay, we have another hosta here. This is vinca, and I actually started planting this up at the top of the garden, and it's made its way down here. More daffodils, more mullein, some beautiful rocks that were found here. Now this is a, I can't remember what it's called right now. It's not done well. I don't know why. It hasn't gotten any bigger. It's green, but it hasn't gotten any bigger. So we'll see that this year. This one is probably my favorite as far as hostas. This gorgeous hydrangea has bloomed this year. It didn't bloom last year. And then this hosta is really pretty. Some more mullein here, large bits of mullein. And then we have some red clover back here, some sweet peas that have fallen over and are growing up in that. And then here we have some echinacea. I wasn't sure if it was going to come up this year, but it's like a bright orange. So it doesn't really go with the color theme here. We've got like purples and pinks, but oh well. I'm really excited. And I will take the seed heads and plant them in other places in the fall.